Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cafe Euro 2020 coverage of the semi final. Tonight, we have one of the most heavyweight encounters of the Euro 2020. It's Spain versus Italy, the two best teams battling it out in Wembley for a spot in the finals. Let's talk about history of these two great footballing nations. So, starting off with Spain, one interesting thing you guys should know: in the past five major tournament encounters, that being the Euro and the World Cup, Spain have been victorious. Not only victorious, there've been few moments where they've absolutely thrashed Italy. Like in 2008, they beat Italy 4-0, and that was during Spain's golden era. So we had players like Iniesta, we had players like David Villa, we had players like Xavi, all of them being Barcelona. And I'm just saying, Luis Enrique has managed Barcelona also for a long time. So it's pretty interesting. That's a really interesting statistic from Spain. And now let's look at Italy. If you remember in 2006, when they won the World Cup, unfortunately, they haven't had much success after that. And I think this Euro 2020 is the first time we're seeing Italy back in that form like they were in 2006, all thanks to Roberto Mancini. He has built a very strong Italy side, and they look really dangerous. Let's see their like just look at their form. In the first 11 games of the Euro, they didn't concede a single goal. So both of these sides are coming in pretty strong. And one thing I find really interesting is because let's see, Italy is a team that does not concede. Spain, on the other hand, is a team that loves scoring. So this is going to be one amazing encounter, and I can't look forward to it. Addy, you want to add anything on the history of these two nations?
Yeah, so obviously, two very great footballing nations. They both have a World Cup each, and Italy has only one Euro win, I think, in 1968, and the Spanish have picked up 2008 as well as 12, two consecutive Euro wins. And just to correct you, Rush, in 2008, actually, Italy had lost to Spain on penalty shootout. It was the 2012 Euro final where Spain had completely ambushed Italy 4-0. So yes, great nations, and I mean they have a lot of rich heritage, and even in current form, they seem pretty competitive today.
So, Addy, we can both agree that both these sides are really stacked on paper, right? Both of them have wonderful players, each side of the thing. So, I think tonight's game will be about statistics. I'm not seeing it as Italy versus Spain. I'm seeing it as Enrique versus Mancini. So, a little description about Luis Enrique and the way he likes to manage his teams. He focuses on quick transitions from defense to attack, and he's had a very good tenure in for Barcelona starting in 2014. And I think it's important to note that the formation he played for Barcelona is the formation he's sticking with Spain also, that being a 4-3-3. And now obviously with Spain he had with Barcelona, sorry, his top three were Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. So I think a big key to victory for Spain is we need to see Sarabia, Morata, as well as Torres performing like those three. And now let's switch over and look at Mancini's managerial tactics. Mancini loves to make plays from the back. He emphasizes a lot on defense. For him, a good game is when his team does not concede a goal. And thanks to Benucci as well as Chiellini, very dominant centre backs for Italy, that has been working out really well for them. And Mancini is a type of player is a type of manager. To him, a 1-0 victory is sweet. It's sweeter than a 5-0, sweeter than a 7-0, because if you beat the team 1-0, it means that you've had control over the whole game. So, Addy, what tactics do you want to see from Enrique and Mancini coming into this encounter?
So yeah, they both are really great managers. Actually, they are one of the only two managers in the Euros who have actually had great success managing major clubs. We talk about Mancini. He I think he was appointed the manager of Manchester City, and in his first year, only City had won the Premier League title. He has won many Premier League titles with City, won a couple of FA Cups as well. And speaking about Luis Enrique, his first 2 years in Barcelona were great. He won the treble with Barcelona the first year he managed them, and won the double the second year. So, yes, two great club managers. And both of them, interestingly, also have similar styles. You told us about. So, first talking about Mancini, actually, he was appointed the Italy's manager in 2018 after consecutive disappointing major tournament performances from Italy. They failed to make it past the group stages in 2010, and they did not have a good run in 2014. Their 2016 Euros also saw them being eliminated in the round of 16. So Mancini was appointed in 2018 after a few Spanish papers called it the apocalypse of football for Italy when they did not make it into the 2018 World Cup. So that was the first time they hadn't qualified in 60 years. So he's done a great turnaround with the team. The last, I believe, 13 games, Italy have been undefeated under his leadership. They were undefeated throughout the Euro qualifiers, and they are still one of the only teams that is undefeated from the beginning of this tournament until today under Mancini's obviously leadership. Interestingly enough, actually, after the quarterfinal day, the quarterfinals of Italy Belgium, I'd seen the post show on Sony Live, and a lot of the experts, the panelists there, said that the tactics that Mancini is putting for Italy are similar to the tiki taka that Spain had during their golden era. And if we look about the strategies that both of these managers have applied in the Euros, they seem to be competitive and pretty even sides. They both have the same formations, 4-3-3. They both have very strong foundations of having more of the ball, playing a possession game, and pressing forward. In Spain's case, they obviously go out with the 4-3-3. Are the two midfielders, Koke and Pedri, have the attacking their box-to-box midfielders, so they fulfill the attacking role as well, with Busquets staying back. And in Italy's, they also play the same formation, 4-3-3. However, the fullbacks have a major role in attack. And just to point out to our viewers, actually, Spinazzola, who was arguably one of Italy's best players in this tournament, as per BBC and the Evening Standard, has been ruled out for the rest of the tournament. So that's going to be a big loss for Italy. So yes, they are very similar, both these teams. And another point for the viewers, even Pablo Sarabia, the talented young winger from Spain, has been ruled out for this match. So yeah, that's what I have to say about the tactics and managerial rush.
Pretty heartbreaking to hear about not seeing some of Spain and Italy stars tonight. But yeah, this game is going to be very heavy on tactics. And Addy, there's one thing I want to discuss with you. So you mentioned how both Italy and Spain like playing 4-3-3. So Italy being a very defensive side, and we've seen Spain's goal scoring ability this Euro. Like they converted 5 against Croatia, 5 against Slovakia. Obviously, that it won't be easy to get a similar scoreline against Italy. So we've seen this formation 3-4-3 work wonders for teams like England and Germany. Do you think Spain should impose this formation?
Personally, Arush, I don't feel that they are going to switch from their 4-3-3 formation, because it's the formation that they have played so far in the Euros every single match. They have not switched the formation even once. They seem to be doing pretty well with it. They found some recent success. Obviously, I would attribute a lot of the success to Sergio Busquets, who recovered from COVID. And the moment he came into the side, in the center of the pitch, the Spanish performance has become much better, because he came back in the Slovakia game, and obviously two draws before that, and they went on to win that 5-0. And obviously against Croatia, they won 5-3, and they beat Switzerland on penalties. But Rush, on that front, personally, I feel that Spain have been a good side. They have the most goals in the Euros. They've scored about 12 goals in their 5 games. I don't think they'll switch up the formations. And I don't think they're going to switch the formations. I think they'll stick with this. And to make up for the loss of Pablo Sarabia, we can probably see Dani Olmo come in. I think the key for Spain is that they need to convert more of their chances. We saw, if you'll see in the Slovakia game as well, they undoubtedly thrashed Slovakia 5-0. However, they could have easily got 2, 3 more goals. So they are playing as a good unit, a good side. They seem to have settled the formation pretty well, and the roles of each player also seem pretty defined. It's just about converting more chances, and especially against a side like Italy. Against Slovakia, if you fail to convert your chances, you were still winning. But against Italy, a side that has shown utter dominance in the tournament so far, Italy actually are the only team that have won every single match in the Euro 2020 so far. Unlike Spain and England, who have drawn games till the Euros. Italy is the only team which has won every game in regulation time, leaving aside their win in Austria in extra time. So yes, I think Spain will not change their tactics, and a lot of onus will be on them being very clinical and finishing all their chances they get against this staunch Italian defense.
Yes, Adi, I completely agree. Like against Slovakia, like we saw the whole match and we both agreed that should have been an 8-9 nil game. Like they even missed a penalty. But now talking about, you just mentioned how Italy have not lost a single game in their group stages as well as qualifiers. So they're coming in pretty strong. But there's one notable thing I want to talk about the Spanish side. They drew to Poland. That made their chances really slim. Reporters were saying, Spain need to qualify. They need to do something big. They need to thrash Slovakia. And we were like, yeah, Spain needs to qualify. They got to thrash Slovakia. And that's what they did. They went in and they completely dominated Slovakia. So I'm of the opinion that Spain is a team where when they're down, when they're tested, when they need to put in their A game, boy, do they deliver. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do it tonight too. So we've discussed a lot on formations. We've looked at history. Now, Addy, it's time to discuss a few players that the viewers at home should look out for. Would you like to start?
Sure. So let's start with Italy. I'm actually going to be picking two midfielders and one attacking player. So the first player I think that the viewers need to look out for is Chelsea midfielder Jorginho. He had an exceptional game against Belgium in the quarterfinals. I know that he did not assist or score. I believe he did not assist or score, but he had a phenomenal game against Belgium. He's won the Champions League against Chelsea with Chelsea. Sorry, so he has had great success at his club. He has had some masterful performances in the midfield. He has made 35 ball recoveries and created 6 opportunities at this tournament so far for Italy. His pass accuracy also stands at 94%. And the second player is going to be Barella, the midfielder, I think, who got that amazing goal against Belgium, I believe, and he has scored a couple of goals for Italy in this Euros. And in my opinion, he has been one of the best players for the Italian side in this Euros. Obviously, very talented. He has a quick feet and a great striking ability that put Italy on front. He was able to impose himself in the midfield and came out on top against very high profile opponents. So he will be crucial in crushing Spain's chances against Italy. And lastly, I'm going to go for Lorenzo Insigne, the Napoli forward. Obviously, cracking goal last game against Belgium from outside the box. So yeah, he is the focal point in the Italian forward, and he is the best Italian forward right now, in my opinion. I think that one loss for him and one difficulty would be that he'll be missing out Spinazzola in the team, and he has linked up enormously with Spinazzola in all of Italy's games, and he will be a very key player for the Italian attack, in my opinion. As I said, one of the best Italian forwards in the team. And his last goal against Belgium will give him a lot of confidence. Obviously, he makes amazing runs down the wing. He has blistering pace. So yes, he's going to be my one player that everyone should look out for. And now, speaking of Spain, the first player I'm going to choose is the midfielder Pedri. If we look over that own goal, that really wasn't his fault against Croatia. He has been exceptional. He has been one of the hardest workers in the Euros. He has covered 61.5 kilometers in this competition. No other player has covered that much of distance in the Euro so far. So it just shows how much he runs up and down the field, and how much he works hard for his team. He has work ethic and technical finesse, which has been crucial to Spain this year. And the next, I am going to go for Ferran Torres. He, I believe, he scored a goal against Croatia and also scored against Slovakia in that 5-0 win. He was actually outstanding in the round of 16 game against Croatia. He is very direct with his approach and keeps making runs behind the defense. If he can play the way he did against Croatia, I think that Italy will have a real problem on their hands, especially given the fact that they are missing out their fullback Spinazzola. So Ferran Torres will be one player that could cause the Italians a lot of problems. And the last, I am going to go for obviously Sergio Busquets. As I mentioned, he the minute the game he came back for Spain, there was a complete turnaround in the Spanish performance. They went from drawing 2 games to coming out on top against Slovakia and obviously winning 2 other games. He is the central midfielder in this 4-3-3 formation. He has a vast amount of experience. He has obviously been in Barcelona for so long, so has a great relation with the manager Luis Enrique as well. And Italy will not have an easy going against the informed midfielder. He will be up against the formidable Jorginho and Verratti in the battle in the middle of this pitch. And yes, I believe that his experience, his defensive mindedness will play a major influential role against the Italians.
Hmm. Wonderful, Aditya. It seems like we share the same players to look out for from when it comes to the Italian side. Personally, also I would look out for Barea. You mentioned most of it, but let me add some more things for the viewers. Against Belgium, he completely dominated the midfield. And now, oh yeah, okay, this sounds, whatever, a player playing dominant in the midfield. That's good and all, but this Belgium midfield consists of Kevin De Bruyne. It consists of some of the best midfielders in the world. Like Belgium is the number one rated team in FIFA. So if since Nicolo played so well that night, I'm sure he's going to cause some serious havoc against Spain tonight. Insigne also, he's going to impose a lot of pressure down the left flank. So I think Spanish left back Azpilicueta will have a handful to deal with this game. And we've seen his amazing movement with the ball, almost picture perfect dribbling, and wonderful outside the box finish against Belgium. Patrick Schick, you have competition for best goal in the tournament. And when I look at the Spanish side, Pedri, you also spoke about him, and I want to talk about Pedri like a little, like the intangible he brings to the team. I look at him as like the 2018 Kylian Mbappe. He's only 18 years of age. Enrique has given him this opportunity, so he'll be hungry. He'll be goal hungry tonight. He'll give his 1,000% to make sure that Spain win tonight. And yeah, definitely, Pedri is another one I will look out for. And looking back at the Spanish defense, we do know Italy. Sorry, looking at the Italian defense, we all know Italy is a team that does not concede. That's not all thanks to the goalkeeper. It's also not enough credit is given to the Italian centre back duo, Chiellini and Benucci. So those are also two players I would look out for. I think they'll be denying Spain a lot. And lastly, I want to talk a bit about Alvaro Morata. I personally feel that his performance has not been up to the mark, and sure, you can get away with it. You can get away with that poor performance against a team like Slovakia. Like, I'm not saying he's performing poorly. He's just not been up to the mark. And if you want to beat Italy, you need to play Leo Messi level. You need to be like Lewandowski. You need that Karim Benzema finish in you. But unfortunately, that has been lacking for Morata, and I hope he comes out strong today. So, yeah, those are my players I want to look out for. Addy, thanks for enlightening the viewers with those statistics. And now let's go to the hardest part of the show, predictions. Who do you think will draw first blood? I have a feeling it's going to be Insigne from Italy. After that cracker, this Napoli striker will come into this game hot, and he will try to do another clinical finish like he did against Belgium. What do you have to say?
So yes, as far as the prediction for first blood goes, I also believe that Italy will be scoring first. They will most likely take the lead, and I think I am going to give the first blood to Barrea again, like he did against Belgium. So I have a feeling that he might score the first goal today as well.
Yeah, and definitely first blood is the hardest to predict, but I have a feeling tonight Spain will have the ball. They will control possession, but Italy will deny them. So Italy is notorious for this. Maybe they've been a few games where they haven't had enough possession as they can, but boy oh boy does this side know how to defend. And Spain is a side that knows how to score really well. So tonight's encounter is going to be crazy. There's going to be an absolute showdown in London, Wembley tonight. And I hope you guys at home are just as excited as I am for this one. Anyway, thank you, Aditya, for being part of the show. We are super excited to cover England versus Denmark. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.